I had a channel thought this morning and I wanted to share it with you. I hope that it makes sense to you and I hope that you're willing to listen. I was thinking about community and how far we have come away from what community used to mean. And by that, I mean essentially that we used to live in community in a way that was reliant upon each other to meet needs, but it was done with love and joy and kinship. And we were able to create connection and maintain connection through trading and bartering and showing up for your neighbor, right? And so I essentially began this whole channel with that thought. And then that thought transitioned to the thought about how we as a human being race have become so siloed, so sectioned off from one another. And that's because we have created so many systems and so many constructs in order to maintain the ecosystems that we've created for ourselves. And so there's all of these separate little systems that we need to engage with, and it makes it very difficult for us to operate in a familiar kinship fashion. And that is kind of when this channel took off. And essentially, as I had that thought, I saw a vision of like a layout of land, and it essentially reminded me of like pig pens or concentration camps where there is masses of people, but they are shoved into small rooms, small areas. And so in this image that I saw, it was essentially hundreds of small squares that make up this one large square. And each square is enforced by a half-built structure of like brick. And so it is enough to create a wall. It is enough to create a barrier, but you are still able to see all of the other individuals that are around the area. But regardless, you are still sectioned off and you are not to interact with the others. And it was very much a metaphor for, again, like this conceptual idea of being siloed. Those things came simultaneously. And essentially, as that came, it came with this understanding and this knowing of individuals of different value systems being placed. Like that was what was separating each square. So individuals who believe that the world should be very traditional or very old school values, where we do like old school testament, I guess is what I'm thinking about, or new school testament, where we believe that, you know, queer people and trans and things are okay, and they are accepted into Christianity. Like that's another format, and LGBTQ is another section, and individuals who are all accommodating is a different section. And so all of these groups of people are separated out into these squares with these barriers around each other. And the idea being that we don't align with these other people, and therefore there is no reason for us to interact with them. And as I am seeing this and feeling this and knowing this, like that is what this image is showing me and telling me. I'm also getting this channel of words, and it feels as if it's my own stream of consciousness as I'm thinking it, but I also am aware that it's not, that I'm getting this message from someone else, from spirit, I guess, from God. And it is essentially someone discussing what I'm thinking about, the community. And I'm gonna try really hard to get it back. It's really difficult for me to remember exactly what was said. And I have tried a little bit again, and I knew as soon as I thought it that like I wasn't going to be able to remember it exactly. So if I can't remember it exactly, I will paraphrase. But essentially it was, it's easier if I close my eyes, so give me a second. But you as a community forget who you are. You forget what you are and who you are made of. Afraid of your own flesh and the means by which you live. I channeled this a little bit earlier, and I got essentially, you are love, you are light, you are brethren, you are blood, you are community divided by none. That like kind of sticks with me. You do not help each other. You do not know each other. You remain detached and lonely, but yearn for more. And then it kind of goes into this section of like a metaphor of the ocean. And that part I remember better. But essentially that is, it kind of begins with like, don't you know that you are of the ocean, or like the ocean? And it talks about particles of the ocean, like don't you know you are like the ocean, one of a million, made into this section, like this this larger being, essentially. You build together, you pull together, you create a wave, and then you crash. Power lies in the masses of you all. That was a big deal. And I'm not saying that the way that it came through, because the way that it came through was amazing. But essentially, like, I just saw this like huge, big wave, ocean wave, build, and it was the sentiment of like, that is who you are as humans. You are not this divided people. You are not meant to be sectioned and segregated and initiated into different systems and concepts. You are meant to be all in one, all encompassing. You are meant to live together and apart, to have a duality within you, and that together we are the ocean, that we have a span that reaches, and that was something, actually, now that I'm saying that, that was something that I had said. It was like manifest destiny. Like, you seek power, you seek more, you like the ocean, find more for yourself, you wash away the shore, and let the world succumb to you and your power. And then it kind of goes into like, but you're not realizing, but what you don't know is that the ocean, I feel so silly. the ocean doesn't operate the way that you do. The ocean doesn't operate the way that we as humans do. It is a house for all communities. It is all encompassing. It has families and communities that only house or live in it or utilize its way for a short time period. And I'm thinking about birds who are migrating, who might stop for a while. I'm thinking about, like, I saw turtles swimming to shore, like to go lay their eggs. I saw seals who come to the shore for a while. I saw like shellfish and being pushed out to the shore as well. And so with this image of, like, they live or they have interacted with the ocean for a small period of time and then they have left, and that is okay. The ocean is okay with that. The ocean knows that it played its role in that community's life for that short period of time, and that it parts ways and it says, okay, goodbye, I wish you well. But there are other schools and there are other communities that that interact with the ocean longer. There are fish that are always only going to be in the ocean, right? And there are several types of fish that are always going to be in the ocean. And yes, they may stick in their own communities, but they are still all within the same ocean with no barriers, no division, no barriers other than their own ideas and rules of how they have learned to navigate being with each other, to living around each other. And I think, like, that's a really good point, like a follow-through point, because that is essentially what we're talking about, right? Like, we're trying as humans to figure out desperately how to be able to learn from each other.